if you're comfortable, you won't be in a position to do extraordinary things that's required to get the best out of you. There's no greater drive you can give someone to show them their lost potential, to show them what they could have had, what's available to them, and they're not accessing. You gotta have a fire lit that you are wasting your potential.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Gynergy Effect podcast. We're dedicated to bringing you the heat, the fire, and today is not going to disappoint. I promise you that, because I got my man Jarvis Leverson.
Let's go.
On the podcast.
Let's go.
And he is a peak performance coach, keynote speaker, best-selling artist, or author of Every Damn Day. He's the founder of the Morning Hero Movement, a community built around one idea: if you win your morning, you win your day. After 15 years as a top-performing sales executive at companies like Texas Instruments, Paychex, and MRI Software, Jarvis hit rock bottom at 35. Burned out, broken up, and living on his mom's couch. That wake-up call led him to write his the wake-up call led him to discover the power of morning routines and daily habits. He reads his first book cover to cover at 35.
Yep.
He's going to talk about that today, I'm sure. And it changed everything. Since 2017, Jarvis has coached over 2,400 entrepreneurs, executives, and sales teams through his winning formula framework, Power Hour method, and Zero Calendar system. Based in San Diego, Jarvis proves every day that it's never too late to become the hero of your own story.
Let's go, man.
Let's go, baby. That's not a bad intro right there, huh?
This is going to be unlike any podcast you've ever done. It's going to be like any podcast you've ever listened to before. Let's roll.
That's what we're setting the intention, bro. We're bringing the heat. So I'm going to start it off with this question right here. Jarvis, you're a peak performance coach who's coached over 2,400 people, but at 35, you were living on your mom's couch.
That's right.
Take me to that moment. What did rock bottom look like for you?
So rock bottom was humbling, especially because, I'm from Chicago, and when I left home, my goal was never to come back to Chicago again. Like, I don't know if you know if you fully experienced the brutalness of the winters of Chicago.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
I remember one story. So I was working for Motorola at the time, and when a snowstorm comes in, it's it covers all of the cars. So you got to go out and actually dig your car out of snow. And I remember one time I'm out there digging my car out of snow. I'm in my pajamas, I'm late for work, and my car door is stuck. And I'm trying to get the door unstuck. And I pull and yank, and the car handle breaks off in my hand. And now I got no way to get inside the car. I'm freezing. I'm late for work. And I was like 20 years old at the time. And that was the moment I said, you know what? I don't need this shit in my life. Right. And I was like, I'm never coming back to Chicago. Like, I'm done with this. And I got a job at Texas Instruments doing software sales for them in Dallas, Texas. And so I left when I was 21. I moved to Dallas. And I swear I would never go back to Chicago. And then here, then kind of like my life's trajectory, I ended up in San Diego. I was working for a boutique software firm there. I was the number one in the company, and making a lot of money, driving a Mercedes-Benz, living down in Little Italy, overlooking the water. We had a penthouse with an ocean view, and life was good. And then I started to self-destruct. And I'll talk about this in a minute, but to answer your question, from me self-destructing there, having it all, living in San Diego, where it is 75 degrees every single day of the year, with an ocean view, penthouse place, driving a Mercedes-Benz, making a shit ton of money, went from that. And from within 1 year, I was homeless. I had lost it all. I had not a dime to my name. And I had to move back to Chicago to live in my mom's basement, waking up on a scratchy ass basement floor. Like, you asked me, how was that? That was a humbling experience.
It's a humbling experience.
It's a humbling experience. Yeah. Especially as I'm as a 35-year-old man having to move back into your mom's house. Like, talk about a gut blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
No ego left after that one.
nothing. And to be honest, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it's only when you're at that place are you vulnerable enough to willingly to accept change. Like the greatest threat to ambition is comfort. And so when you're making good money, like, you're driving when things on your surface level are okay, why would you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation?
Right.
Why would you change? Why would you adopt new habits? You don't have to. Life is comfortable. Like, I don't have to go above and beyond right now. I don't have to exert any extra energy right now. So if you don't have to, why would you? And so sometimes life will slap you around to make you vulnerable and open, so that you can accept the change that's going to push you into a higher level of living. And that's what happened to me. I had to be slapped around to be put into my mom's basement so that I was in a vulnerable place to say, okay, what do I have to do to get out of this? And sometimes some people have to be forced to that position. If you're comfortable, you won't be in a position to do extraordinary things that's required to get the best out of you. And so that's what that basement for me was, that uncomfortable place that I needed to be in so that I could start reading, so that I could start getting up early, so that I could start working on myself every day, so that I could start building business blueprints. If I wasn't in that basement, I would have never done any of those things.
So going through from breaking the handle off the door in Chicago, and you saying, I'm not going to live my life this way. I don't have to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then changing your life and moving to Texas, and then San Diego, and then really understanding that you can create and number one sales in your company, and then you got out of maybe alignment with the values that you had set.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And you ended up basically on the canvas.
Yeah.
Down but not out fully.
Right.
Even though maybe at times you felt like you were out fully.
Yeah.
You had to let go of your ego and move back to your mom's house.
Yeah.
In the basement. And from there, that was that moment that you were said, I'm not going to continue doing the same things I did to bring me to this moment right here.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you that was like, how did you know what to do? Because maybe there's people listening right now and they're like, man, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like, I'm feeling that pain right now, but maybe they just don't know what to do.
Yeah. And so I would say this, it wasn't that, and to be honest, that wasn't the rock bottom. My rock bottom, like you would think that would be my rock bottom. Like there I am, homeless and helpless after having it all. And now I'm kind of like on my down and out. You would think that would be my rock bottom. That really actually wasn't, because to be honest, I still kind of was comfortable there. I was comfortable because I had a safety net. I had my mom's house to go back to. I say it was homeless. I wasn't actually home. I wasn't actually on the street. I had a safety net. And so I still was okay, comfortable there. The true rock bottom for me was not a physical rock bottom. It was a mental, emotional, spiritual rock bottom, which hit me the moment when I'm there on my mom's couch and I get a notification and it said, go look at Eric's new LinkedIn profile. And, LinkedIn sends you these notifications so you can go give congratulations to all the people in your network.
Right.
And it said, go congratulate Eric on his new job promotion. And I go, and so Eric was my old lab partner when I was at the University of Illinois. I'm a computer engineer, so I graduated a computer engineering degree. And when you're an engineer, you get coupled with another student, and you all go through the program together as lab partners. And so you take all the tests together, you do all the homeworks together, like you essentially graduate as a duo. And so he was my lab partner. Yeah. And Eric, nothing to take away from Eric. He's a great, brilliant, awesome, smart guy. But I kind of carried a lot of the weight in our program. I was in the lab doing all the work.
He knew, hey man, I just show up. Jarvis Leverson, he's good.
He's a business guy. He knew
good.
He had the relationship. He
knew
how to shake hands. He knew how to politic. Even as 18-year-olds, he had the politic part down. I was the hustler. I was the one in the lab doing all the work. I was the one up at 4 a.m. studying, and he would come in last minute with the thumb drive, like, "Hey, can you slide the homework over here? Or can you give me the lab?"
Come on, Dad.
And so that was Eric, right? And like I said, nothing. He was a great guy, but we graduated together.
Yeah.
And we went separate ways, and I hadn't seen or heard from him in 15 years. And so there I am on my mom's couch, get a notification from LinkedIn saying, go check out Eric's new promotion. And I go to his page, and he was now the chief technology officer of this company.
Yeah, CTO.
And I go and I look at his Instagram, and he's got this big house on the lake. They got a boat. These charity events he's doing, and he's living this extravagant life.
Yeah.
And there I was.
On your mom's couch.
On my mom's couch. And I'm like, that was the blow. That was the talk about.
Like, I'm competitive, man. Like, I got this drive in me. I know this. I know I can outwork, out-circle. I'm smarter than this guy. And yeah, he's a CTO.
He's the one.
He got the house on the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
He got doing the charity thing.
Yep.
Living the life that I should be living.
I should be doing. I should be the one at the top of the totem pole. I was the smarter one. I was the one in the better grades. I was the hardworking one. With all the talents, abilities, skills, intellect, resources, connections, people in my corner, with all the things I had going for me, he's the CTO. I'm on my mom's couch on the bottom. And that, for me, was the kick. That was
that
the blow.
fire.
That was the blow. Okay. And I got pissed off. Yeah. And it was, and I think, and so, like I said, everything works for your greater benefit. I have this mindset that everything always works for your benefit. Yeah. The Lord used Eric to show me this. It was a mirror. It was a mirror, like Jarvis. This ain't about him. This is about you.
Yeah.
This is the life I had lined up for you, and look how you're wasting it. Right. Look how you're wasting the potential I put in you. And that for me was, there's no greater like drive you can give someone to show them their lost potential, to show them what they could have had, what's available to them, and they're not accessing it.
Yeah, I say that all the time. So when I have this, because I've almost died a couple times, but I think about every day, I'm like, man, like maximizing every moment to me is so important. But I think about this when I die. I go to heaven. I'm with God or whatever you believe in. I'm with God, and he goes, hey, Garin, let's watch back your life. Now let's watch another version. Now let me pull out the version of you that you were made for.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that on. Here's the best. All the gifts I gave you, this is what you had the opportunity to do. Yeah. And for me, every day I think about how close am I to living that version. So it sounds like that's exactly where you were at that time. And seeing Eric gave you a clear vision of what Jarvis could have been done, should have been done. And that brought in that.
That's the fire. And so you ask, like, how do you give someone a roadmap? That's the roadmap. It's not let me give you steps 1, 2, 3. Right. It's you need a fire lit first. If you don't have a fire lit, I can give you the equations. I can give you the formula. It doesn't matter. You're not going to do it. The moment you got that fire lit, you don't need a step 1, 2, 3. You're going to fucking figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
And for a lot of people, they don't have a fire lit yet. Step 1 is you got to have a fire lit, that you are wasting your potential. That there is more in you that you are leaving on the table, and you're going to have a life full of regret, resentment, disappointment, addiction, unless you fucking get up and get after it. Right. And for me, it took me seeing someone else stealing my blessing. And I think step 1 for anyone is, who can you look at and see that they're doing stuff that you should be doing? They're at the top of the board when you should be at the top of the board. They got the house when you should have the house. They're getting the sales when you should be getting the sales. Like, who can you look at and like, God damn it, if they are doing it, why am I not doing it? That fire has to get lit first. And the moment you got the fire lit, you will figure it out. Like, I don't have to tell you what steps 1, 2, 3. The step 1 is, are you pissed off? And the moment you get pissed off, you'll do something about it.
The moment you get pissed off, the moment you're done playing the same game, telling yourself the same stories, living the same identity, that's when you can shift everything from there.
Yeah. Because the steps 1, 2, 3 is different for everyone. I can't give you the formula of success for you. Your formula of success is different from the steps are different. What is the same is the drive, the motivation, and ambition. Once some person has that fire, they will figure out their own path. Right. And so that is the key. That's the secret of life.
I think the big thing people get stuck on is that shame and guilt. and then they tie their identity where they almost self-sabotage constantly in this loop where they don't feel worthy of all these blessings, right? They may see that guy that has everything and know that they're smarter, they can outwork them and everything else, but they just don't feel worthy of it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a really deep one too. And there's this concept called the upper limit from the book The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, which really, like when I wrote my book, so I just finished writing my book. It's a bestseller, by the way.
Best-selling book, baby. That's what we got.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, let's go.
Every damn day, the Morning Hero's Guide to Building a 5-Star Life. But I talk about this in the book.
Real quick, just so if they're looking right now and they want to get the book, where can they get it?
Amazon. Best place to go, Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. Soon it will be out. I'm actually recording it right now for Audible.
Yeah.
And we have an app that goes along with it. And so if you get the app, the Audible will be inside the app. So anyone with the app can listen to the book for free. Yeah. But yeah, so Amazon would be the best place to get it. But I talk about this. So writing this book was a very therapeutic process for me because I had to really unpack a lot of my shit. And oftentimes in life, you can you go through things or whatever, and you can sweep a lot of stuff under the rug, and you can just walk past that rug, that little dust pile under the rug all your life and never really have to deal with it. But when you write a book, you really got to pull that stuff out because you got to process it so you can articulate it in the book so that other people can learn from it. And one of the things that I had to unpack was my downfall. I never processed it. I never really truly dug deep to see why did I self-sabotage and self-destruct the way that I did when I was on top, when I had it all. Like, why would anybody on a right mind do things to ruin that life that otherwise seems perfect for anyone else? And so I had to dissect that. And here's what I dissected was that I had reached my upper limit. And so the book, the Big Leap, he talks about the upper limit problem, which is everyone has an upper limit that's already set that of the level of happiness, health, wealth, income, and happiness, joy, and fulfillment that they're willing to, or that they're comfortable accepting for themselves in their life. And the moment they exceed that, their body will self-regulate back down to their acceptable level of comfort, of happiness, health, wealth, and success. And it's like these things, your internal thermostat is set early in life. It's set from your parents. It's set from your environment. It's set by your beliefs and your and behaviors. So once your thermostat is set, it's just like a thermostat in a room. When it gets too cold, the heat kicks on and brings the temperature back there, up. When it gets too hot, the AC kicks on and it brings the temperature down. So the room self-regulates, so it always stays at the same temperature. Your level of income, happiness, success, and fulfillment is set at a temperature. And the moment you start to exceed it, you will self-regulate back down. And what happened with me is I started to self-regulate. I had exceeded a level of happiness, joy, fulfillment, income that I was comfortable with. Subconsciously, this isn't something that you are consciously aware of. Subconsciously, you hit your upper limit and you go into self-sabotage. And a lot of people do this in a lot of areas of their life. In relationships, when you get a lot of people, they get into a relationship that then gets too good and they self-regulate. They self-destruct and unintentionally sabotage the relationship. It's what seemingly is a good relationship. People say they want to lose weight and they go through all this stuff and they're hardcore. Now this is the year I'm getting the best shape of my life. And then 2 days later, they're on a binge, got a whole pizza in front of them and some fried chicken. The moment you start to make any progress and you start to exceed your comfort zone, you will self-regulate. And so I self-regulated down and I went all the way down.
And that's a really powerful framework and understanding because it creates clarity. So I guess the next part is, let's say you have that self-regulation and maybe somebody's living in that right now, or maybe they've been through it and now they're on that upside swing again.
Yeah.
How do you shift your identity so that you allow all that abundance and you stop self-regulating? Because it resonates with me, man. Like I grew up, I went through a tough childhood. We didn't have a lot. My mom was on meth and raised by my dad for the most part before just went through a lot when I was a kid. But I've always been on like this. I've been on a mission to create a better life for myself and be the one. Like Ed Milet talks about being the one that changes the course of it. But also during that process, I've had some really high highs, some low lows, some high highs, some low lows, and I can see when I got to certain points what you're talking about right now, there's self-sabotage that happened, or I didn't see the board properly. Like I got so zoned in that I couldn't see it. I had so many moves at one time, and then it wasn't until I ruined all, basically brought it in so tight that you have nowhere to go, right? So
yeah, the awareness, first of all, is like recognizing when it's about to happen. And so like now that I'm aware, now I have a mindset of awareness around it, is so that I can preemptively guard against it. And for instance, just literally just a few minutes ago, I just did a speaking event, and I'm right now probably in the best shape of my life. I'm the most consistent I've been in the gym. I've been the most consistent with my diet and eating. I'm looking good. I actually see a six-pack when I look in the mirror.
yeah.
Like I'm literally in the best shape of my life. And I go to the speaking event, and they got donuts and bagels and cream cheese. They have all the things that like my greatest vices in life. Like if you want to, my kryptonite, like Superman has, my kryptonite is a donut. Like you put a donut in front of me, all hell's about to break.
I'm gonna start sending you some protein donuts, bro. I got some of this. At Trident Coffee, they got these protein donuts. They're fire and they're healthy.
Really?
Healthy, but they are healthy depending on your macro goals. But yeah, they're good.
Okay, we're gonna have to try it out after hot yoga session.
Shout out to them over at Trident. They're great. Yeah.
But anyway, so I just finished this event, and they got a whole table full of everything, and I'm like, normal Jarvis would have been like, oh shit, I've been doing good. Oh, I've been on my health game. Oh man, I lost a few pounds. Oh, I deserve this. Oh, that's the upper limit, right? I hit the best shape of my life.
So I deserve.
Now I deserve this. I've earned this.
This limiting behavior.
And now I do the things that bring me back down to Fat Jarvis again. And it's like, oh shit, now I got to hustle.
We don't want Fat Jarvis.
Now I hustle, and then I bring back, right. So that's but guess what happened? I recognize now. I'm aware of the self-sabotage loop. And so now I'm walking past the donuts. The subconscious, the little devil, Jarvis, you deserve this. But now I've got a skill set. Now I have an awareness. The other guy, best Jarvis, comes up and like, Jarvis, this is what always happens. You get it. You start to see your six-pack, and then now you ravage an entire box of donuts. Don't let it happen this time, Jarvis. I walked right past the donuts and walked out. You see, the first step is awareness of what your self-sabotage loop is. Right. And the moment you have the awareness, now you can start to recognize the patterns of when it's about to happen, so that you have a greater chance of not falling into the loop again.
Breaking the patterns.
That's it.
Some of the most successful people in the world as they grow is being able to identify patterns very clearly.
Yeah.
And then predicting where those patterns go. And then when you can do that, you can shift, you can change the state of what's happening and shift those patterns to what your goals are, your vision is, or whatever else. So
100%.
That's a really powerful.
Yeah.
That's super. What book was that again?
That's The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, but I also talk about it in Every Damn Day. Shameless plug.
All right, we're only talking about Every Damn Day over here. Speaking of books, man, you said you never read a book. Now you wrote a book till you're 35, sitting on your mom's couch. Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Hal Elrod.
Elrod, yes.
Yeah.
This is the origin of the morning hero. The detail of every word from the front cover back is powerful. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the book. So there I was on my mom's couch, and I get pissed off. And there's a book. Someone had sent a book to the house, and it was sitting there on the counter called The Miracle Morning. And I'm like, okay, I'm open. God, what I got to do? I'm done. I'm done not living up to my potential. I'm done living beneath the potential you put in me. And I pick up the book and I start reading it. And it was one of those things that book hit me at the right moment. If I had read that book 3 years prior, it would have fallen on deaf ears.
Right.
It hit me at the right moment, and I didn't put the book down until I finished the entire thing. It's a short book. It's less than 200 pages. I picked the book up, and I read it cover to cover. First time I ever in my life read a book cover to cover. Prior to that, I was a Cliff Notes kind of guy.
Yeah.
I can get by on reading the summary.
Right.
and
then you'd be good. Yeah.
I'm
Good.
I'm good. I read this entire book cover to cover, and it hit me at this moment. And it talked about the power of the morning. It was like everything you're missing in your life is waiting for you in your mornings, and you're sleeping through it. And I was waking up at 8 a.m. at that time. I wasn't working. I was jobless. I had no reasons to wake up early. But that book said, get up early, and the way you start your day will dictate how your entire day will go. And so I started that morning. I said I was going to wake. That next morning, I said I'm going to wake up at 4:57 a.m. I said I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. Now, granted, I was waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah,
like,
big jump from 8 to 5.
It's a big jump. I'm like, tomorrow I'm an all or nothing kind of guy.
I'm going to do it.
Tomorrow I'm waking up at 5 a.m. And I was kind of just like joking, like, I know this ain't going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway. That next morning, I woke up at 4:57 a.m., 3 minutes before that alarm. And I've never used an alarm. This was over 7 years ago. I've never used an alarm clock since then. Yeah. Now I wake up consistently somewhere between 3:30 and 4 in the morning with no alarm clock. And that morning was the first time I experienced true peace. You know, I got up and it was dark outside. There were no text messages coming in. There were no emails waiting. There was no dogs barking. There was no breaking news. There was no social media dings. The birds weren't even chirping yet. You know, I got to the worm before the bird did. But I just had time. Like, I never experienced just this freedom of time before. Because normally you get up and you already get up running. You get up with an obligation waiting for you. You get up right into obligations, right into, I got to get this. I'm already late for this, or this person needs it. So normally you get up already, there's this obligation hanging over your head. This time I first got up and there was nothing hanging over my head. I had time. And so I just sat there with my eyes closed. I sat in prayer, and I had a journal next to me, and I just started jotting down all the ideas that was coming to me, and I started writing stuff, and started blueprinting things out, and I started coming up with the business plans, and then I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do that, then what do I got to do? And I started writing down a list of all the actions I need to take, and then I was like, okay, go to the gym. It's still early. I went to the gym. I came home, and then I started working on that list that I put together, and I looked up, and I just glanced up at the clock, and was like, it is 7 o'clock in the morning. The whole house was still asleep. And I was like, I felt like I had a full day of production, and nobody else in the house was even up yet. And that's when it clicked. I was like, this is the secret. This is the secret. Right? Like, get up and make monumental progress before anybody else wakes up, before anybody can bother you. This is the fucking secret. That was the moment that started the trajectory of my comeback.
It's so funny, bro, because you talk about that, and me and you have always synced so in so many different ways, and I love listening to you, and like we're just always on a very similar wavelength. I had a moment similar to that with the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I actually have our group reading it all together right now, and it's just one of those that realization when you're going through it is then you start understanding the principles, and then you do it. And now I'm like the same. I wake up at 3:30, between 3:30 and 4. I don't set my alarm clock, but that's the time I look forward to the most.
Yes,
because it's that peace.
Yep.
That part that you're just can feed within you.
Yep.
There's nothing going out to other places that are like pulling your energy. It's like you get to choose what you do in that time, that quiet time where the world's still sleeping.
Yeah.
And then you get to watch everything wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's something special in that, and that power that's in that.
Yep.
So what are some of the things that, it sounds like you've discovered a couple of things that successful people have in common. What are they?
Yeah, so my kind of like my trajectory, I went from being on the couch. I discovered the mornings. I started a new business. I started getting into real estate, and I moved back to San Diego, and I built a commercial real estate practice. Reconnected with the love of my life.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about that. Yeah, real quick, give us a little backstory on that.
Yeah, so the girl that, in my downfall, we had the penthouse together. I got to a place of self-sabotage and self-destruction. She had a front row seat to my self-destruction, and we decided amicably that like I wasn't the best fit for her life at that moment, and rightfully so, because I wasn't good to myself. I wasn't good to her.
Yeah. How can you show up for her if you can't show up for yourself?
Myself, right?
Yeah.
And so as I started to become the best version of myself again, I started to attract everything back into my life that I lost, including her. And so we reconnected. I moved back to San Diego. I moved and funny thing about this whole morning thing. I believe the universe speaks to you in the quiet stillness of the morning. Like the universe whispers. The universe doesn't yell at you. The universe doesn't slap you over the. Sometimes it slap you over the head, but most of the time, the universe nudges you through these very soft whispers. But oftentimes you can't hear the whispers because of the noise. You wake up right into noise, and your day is noisy. Your life is noisy, so you don't hear the whispers. The universe is like trying to give you all the answers and the guidance and everything you need, but you're like, oh, you're too frazzled. I got this, I got that, I got the kids practice, I got over it, and so the universe is just over there being ignored by you. But until you get into the morning. And now it's quiet enough for you to actually hear the universe. And so she became like in those quiet whispers of the universe in the morning. I would hear and see visions of my best life, my future life, me and my full potential. And she was always a part of it. And we weren't even together. We were still broken up. She was living in San Diego. I was still living in Chicago. And
you're like, I'm going to make my way back.
And literally, I flew to San Diego and I proposed to her without us even being together.
Wow.
Because I knew she was going to be a part of my life. And because the universe told me that in the stillness of the morning. And I kept seeing these visions, and she became more and more prominent part of this dominant vision that I have for my best life.
And she actually said yes.
She said yes.
She actually said
wasn't
yes.
just cold turkey. We had started back communicating.
He's like, I'm flying over there. I'm going to ask her to marry me. I'm going for it.
We weren't dating at all. We were broken up, cold turkey.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
But you knew.
But I knew with absolute certainty. And
like,
that's one of the things when you get to this, when you start to find a practice of connecting where you can hear the whispers of the universe, you can hear the discernments from God, you get decisiveness. Because if a word comes to you from God,
you have you know that you have that power and that obligation.
It's certain.
Yeah.
You walk with confidence.
Yeah.
I know this is to be true. I know this is mine because God told me so.
Right.
And you only get that clarity in the morning when it's quiet. I got that clarity that she was the one. I got a ring. I had a buddy who was a manager at the Marriott downtown. He always said to me, Jarvis, we got this helicopter pad up there that nobody ever uses. So, helicopters coming in downtown San Diego. Let me know if you ever want to do something there. I hit him up. I was like, man, I want to propose. What's up with that helicopter pad? He's like, I got you. I flew into town. I told her I was like, hey, I was just going to take her out. Like, mind if I take you out on a date? I flew into town. I took her up there to the rooftop of the Marriott. The dude ushered us over behind the bar. There's a helicopter pad. They had a couch sitting out there, champagne, photographer, and I proposed to her on a helicopter pad in downtown San Diego.
That's it.
And I wasn't. I'm telling you, I was not even living in San Diego at the time. I was still living in Chicago. I knew she was going to be the woman of my life, and I flew to San Diego.
What was her response to that?
She said yes. I mean, but she knew in her heart too, because she always had the vision. She was always like attached to the best version of me. So she saw the potential in me. Right. And so for her, even in my downfall, her dominant vision of me was the best.
And then you had the obligation to not let her down.
That's it, man. Yeah.
Not let yourself down, but also not let her down.
This is another strong motivation.
That's a very strong motivation.
Yeah.
That's a pull for sure.
Yeah, so we get back together. I got the commercial real estate business going, and I start in my business. The head broker, that real estate office. I was in there first one in the. I'll be in the office at 7 a.m. By the time the next person walks in the office at 9 a.m., I'm pretty much done with the day. I've already done all my prospecting calls, I've done my marketing, I've done all my follow up. And he was like, dude, can you, like, you're just in here crushing every day. Can you, like, put on a workshop or something? Can you just show everybody what you're doing? And so I put on my, that was the first time anyone has ever asked me to show people what I was doing. And so I did a workshop and I showed everybody what my morning process was. And 4 people that year, 4 people that was in that workshop, it was 15 people in there. 4 of those people made it to the Wall of Fame. And they said, Jarvis, it was because we're doing that thing you taught us. And that was the first time I figured out that there must be something to this that I'm doing that works for other people. And so that's basically what I wrote about in the book, was this framework of how to start your morning and how to live your life with intention. So you aren't just like coasting through life, but you're living a 5-star life. And it all comes down to these 3 steps, these 3 things that you do every morning. And I call it the win. When you got to win your morning, WIN. And so the W stands for wake up early. That's number 1. You got to get up early to take advantage of the peace and quiet of the morning. That's where you hear the whispers of the universe. That's where you have more time. That's where everything comes for you in the silence of the morning. And so that's the W, is wake up early. Step 2 is set your intentions.
Attention is so important.
And a lot of times people just get up and go.
Attention is so important.
Take a moment to pause to say, what do I want out of this day? What does my highest self look like this day?
Yeah.
If this was a 5-star day, what would not a 3-star day, not an average day, but if this was a 5-star day, what would have to happen today for this to be a 5-star day?
That's right.
And actually write that out.
Yeah.
And so I believe every morning you should have a journaling practice where you're writing out, what does your 5-star day look like? And so that's step 2, is set your intentions for a 5-star day. And then step 3 is no days off. Right. Do it every day. And I challenge people. If you do this for 30 straight days, 30 days from now, your life will be unrecognizable. Wake up early, set your intentions, and do it for 30 straight days and see what happens for you in your life. And so that's the framework I give people in this book of how to live a 5-star life.
That's a beautiful win. I love that. I love that. It's 3 letters, win. Everybody wants to win their day.
Your mornings, you win your day, and you win your life.
That's, I say that all the time. We are so synced, dog. This is crazy. Like that's and if you're looking for a great journal, I got one too. Day 0. Shameless plug.
Yeah. If you don't have a journal, like I don't know what people like. I don't know how you start a day without a journal. Like my favorite part of the day is sitting in front, waking up early when it's dark outside, having a sip of espresso, and sitting in front of a journal. That is that's like heaven.
Heaven. Is that part of what you call the power hour?
Yeah. So the power hour. I call that the power hour. Your power hour is the first hour of the day that you're awake. And that first hour is combined. It makes this, the first 30 minutes of that is you sitting in front of a journal, setting your intentions, and scheduling your day. And then the next 30 minutes is some sort of exercise. And so I personally like to go for a run or a long walk.
Yeah. Which I've been blessed to do that with you a couple times.
Yeah, we've done it before. But if you do that for the first hour of your day, 30 minutes in front of a journal, then 30 minutes for doing some exercise and moving your body, that hour, if you do that power hour, you set yourself up to have a powerful day. And so that's kind of my recommendations for how you start the day.
And then I saw another thing that is big in your teachings on the 0 calendar.
Yeah. So essentially that's where a lot of people kind of waste the day away. They just mindlessly do random stuff all day, and it really just they get to the end of the day and you're like, well, what the fuck happened today? Like, did I do anything mean stuff? Like, I'm exhausted, but I can't tell you one like really productive thing I did. And that's because we typically fall victim to, like, there's this thing called the prehistoric brain, where if you look at like how we evolved as humans back in like the Paleolithic era, like when we were cave people, we only had like one main mission in life, and that was survival. And survival meant we was running from bears and tigers, trying not to be food. We were chasing mates, trying to procreate. When we were chasing food, right? So at any given point in time, you're running or chasing.
Yeah.
And so the way we evolved is
fight or flight.
And so our brains had to adapt for energy conservation. You needed to always save as much energy as possible because you needed it at any given moment if you needed to chase down a deer or run from a tiger. However, so we evolved, and that mechanism allowed us to become the dominant species. But we don't live that life anymore. Like, we're not chasing our food anymore. But our brains are still adapted for energy conservation. And so in any given moment, your brain will always opt to do the thing that conserves the most energy, the easiest thing, the thing that doesn't require a lot of effort. And so if you don't have your day planned all the way down, if you have blank space on your calendar, guaranteed your brain will always opt to find something easy to pass the time by. That's why you find yourself scrolling. That's why you find yourself doing chores or errands or washing dishes or the laundry, because your brain will find things to do as opposed to doing the hard thing it should be doing, like making some calls or reaching out to clients. Or those things require effort, energy. Your brain doesn't want to do it. And so it will find other things to pass the time by.
Like autopilot.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so the zero calendar guards against that. It basically says, instead of having blank space on your calendar, leaving your brain to figure out what it should do in that moment, at the beginning of the day, time block your entire day all the way down to the minute. There should be zero unaccounted for time on your calendar. So at the beginning of the day, go hour by hour, 5 a.m. And if you look at my calendar, it's stacked. Yeah. Every single hour I have a block scheduled.
I'll show you mine. It's the same way.
And so that way, you're not leaving it up to your brain to figure out what I should be doing in a moment. Your calendar already tells you.
And even if that is just taking time to be present, meditate, or just not do anything during this time.
I have nap scheduled on my calendar. Right now, I have a nap scheduled on my calendar at 1 p.m. Yeah. It's intentional.
Right.
It's an intentional block that I'm intentionally powering down.
And then you train yourself to do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, and sometimes I'll be fine. I'll carry my energy all the way through the day. And good, but by 8, like my brain just turns off.
Right.
Ask Jesse, she'll tell you. But other times, like I'll have a chance, I'll take a nap, and if I can do it under the sun, that's the best. And so I'll take 20, 30 minutes, and I'll just intentionally, and I'll lay there like this. But then I'll wake up, and it'll take me a moment to but then for the rest of the day, bro, it's like I just had a full recharge on the battery.
Yep.
And like I'm good, and I can only get. If I get 5 hours of sleep, but then I do that nap, like, bro, I'm running laps around everybody.
Totally. I'm the same way. So a lot of people always ask, like, because I wake up so early, like, do you nap? Yes, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in naps. It's like drinking 8 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
I normally do it like I kind of like my framework, my process. I go hard in the morning. Mornings, I basically get an entire day's worth of work done before lunch, and I call it done by lunch. Yeah, like if you wake up early, you go hard, you can get as much stuff done as the other people.
It's almost like you're living 2 days.
Yeah, for real, exactly. It's just like
it's like you're living 2 days.
Yeah. And so by lunchtime, I'm practically done.
Yeah.
I go to the gym. I make a healthy lunch. I power down. I can take a nap. Sometimes I'll go hit golf balls. Like my afternoon is bonus time, and so I'm very intentional. Like I go hard in the morning so that I earn bonus time in the afternoon. Sometimes that's me taking a nap, and I'm okay with
that. I love it, bro. I love it. So you said productivity isn't about doing more; it's about doing what matters most.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being busy and productive?
It's doing the right thing. It's not doing many things. It's better to do one thing that's the right thing than 15 useless things.
Right.
A lot of times people put big energy into small things. And I think a lot of people live their life like that. They put all their big energy into small things. And there's a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Yeah,
and
I like Gary
it's
Keller.
Like the premise is, what's the one thing such that if you only did that one thing, it makes all the other things irrelevant or irrelevant or unnecessary.
So it's such a powerful framework.
And so I use that in this, like every morning, you come up with your one big thing. And then I put a couple of hours of intentional energy after that one thing. Yeah. And such that if I've done that thing, even if I don't do the other 10 things, if I've done that one thing, it's a
successful day.
Successful day. Yeah. And that one thing has to be a big thing. It can't be just like, go deliver some mail.
No, it's something that's going to move you towards your highest self.
It's the biggest.
Move you towards your biggest goals. It's we do that same framework because it's easy to be intentional about it and go execute it if you time block it and you put it in your day. And because a lot of times we'll set it an intention, but we don't actually set the time to do it either.
100%.
And then the day just drags. We go on autopilot, and then we don't do it.
Yep.
So setting that one thing, setting the time to block it, to do it, and executing upon it, and that's a non-negotiable for the day.
Non-negotiable. And it should be in the morning. Like,
Right.
and so the way I call it grind time. So every day you have one thing, you need to have a grind time. And grind time is a 2-hour block of time in the morning, because that's when your brain you get your highest cognitive load in the morning, your highest cognitive functioning. So I recommend somewhere between 8 to 10, 9 to 11 is your grind time window. Grind time should be where you're focused on your one thing. And then that way by lunchtime, you're done by lunch. And such that if you did nothing else for the rest of the day, if you truly were done, you could be done by lunch and have the rest of the day to do whatever you want, because you've done your one thing.
Right. One thing too, study that I read about creatine. One, don't pair creatine with caffeine. I didn't know that, so I always take my creatine with my workout. But if you drink 10 grams a day, then it has just as big an impact on your brain as it does your muscles.
Really?
Then if you're tired and you have brain fog because you're not sleeping well, you take 20 grams. They did studies. They had people that slept their normal time, people that had disrupted sleep. They gave them 20 grams of protein, of creatine. The people that took 20 grams of creatine outperformed those that had a great night rest.
Really? Have you started doing it?
Yeah.
Have you noticed the difference?
I've noticed the difference too.
Really?
Yeah, so just because sometimes I'll wake up at like 2:30 instead of 3:30, and that throws me off.
Yeah, me too.
Like I feel that fog in my mind, and I'm battling. And if I try to go back to sleep and then wake up, then it just throws everything. So when I wake up, I just wake up. Taking that creatine has made a difference. It just like creates clarity.
Huh. And you take it like in the middle of the day, or where do you take it?
No, I'll take it in the morning. Like if I know that I'm having that issue or I'm starting to feel that way, I'll take that and it'll instantly, like it takes about 30, 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then I start to see that shift.
I take about 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard that up with the creatine.
Yeah, I'll send you the study. It's actually, I read that. I was like, wow. Because I didn't know that caffeine had a negative impact on creatine. And then circle that back. And then if you do 20 grams, and if you do 1 week a month of loading with 20 grams of creatine, like that also has this compounding effect.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I've been talking about it, but it's like.
It's when you're like a biohacker.
So a couple of questions. What's the habit most people resist that would change their life the fastest?
I mean, waking up early.
Yeah.
Like, that's the obvious one. A lot of people think they're like, my circadian rhythm, like I'm a natural night owl. There's this misconception that you are locked in, like there's this circadian rhythm that you're damned for life. Like you were born in your DNA was coded such that you could only go to sleep at a certain time. It's the biggest lie. You can train yourself to wake up whenever you want. You can retrain your circadian rhythm. Just like when you travel to a different country, you're in a different time zone, you naturally start to adjust to the new time zone. And all of a sudden you're waking up in the new time zone. That's an example of your body naturally adjusts. Right. Your body will naturally adjust. And so it's just a matter of you can shift it and naturally change your circadian rhythm.
So it's just what we tell ourselves.
It's a lie you tell yourself. The Miracle Morning told me this. It's that you are what you tell yourself you are. And the reason you're not a morning person is only because you keep telling yourself that. The moment you tell yourself something different, you'll realize a different reality for yourself. And it talks about affirm. The very first thing he tells you in that book was affirm your morning. Say to yourself, I'm looking forward to waking up at 5 a.m. Right. I can't wait to get up at 5 a.m. So that I can do my morning routine. And the first time I did this, I was like, this shit ain't gonna work, man. Like, I know I'm not a morning person. Like, I know I can't get up at 5, but I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I was like, you know what? I can't wait to get up at 5 a.m. so I can sit with my journal and pray.
Yeah.
And that next day I woke up at 4:57. Like that. In one day I changed from a night owl to a morning person. It wasn't this adjustment period. It all was psychological. It all was a product of what you tell yourself. And so most people think they can't do it. Hell yeah, you can. If I could do it, anybody can. It's just a matter of what you tell yourself you know. So just stop damning yourself by what you say to yourself.
I love that, brother. This has been so good. I got a few more questions and then wrap up, bro. But we could do this. We're gonna have you on again because there's too much to unpack here.
Cool.
Too much to unpack here. The book called Every Damn Day. Why the periods between each word?
It's just emphasis, man. Every damn day, with the period, you got to punch your fist.
Every damn day.
Damn day.
Every damn day.
Yeah. So it's just it's the I've been wearing, that's been my mantra for a long time, even well before the book, well before this became the title of the book. I've just lived by this mantra that your success in life isn't a product of the things you do every now and then. Your success in life is a product of the things you do every damn day. And so it's a matter of like showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. Wake up, get up, sit with the journal, do your intentions every day, because that only the consistency over time does it stack into greatness. Anyone could do things once or twice, right? I was in a bowling league, and I remember one year, I was about like an average bowler, but this one game, I bowled a 299. And in the bowling sphere, 300 is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like the most highly coveted thing. It's very rare. Unless you're a professional bowler, a perfect game is very rare. And so I remember I had all strikes. And I remember coming down to the last frame.
Right? It was the
very last frame. And I bowled the ball. It glistened off my fingertips. It hit the pocket. And that one pin in the corner toggled and it didn't fall.
Wow.
And so it ruined my perfect game. But I got a 299. The entire like bowling alley erupted. They picked me up on their shoulders. They carried me around. Like it's a big deal. And I won an award and everything. But guess what? I had the highest score on an entire league that year. I had the highest score, a 299. But guess where? It was 100 bowlers. Guess where I ranked for the entire year though? I ranked like 67th out of 100. Yeah. Even though I was on top for the single greatest game that season, I still was 67th. I was still at the bottom of the pack because I wasn't consistent. Yeah. One game ain't going to cut it.
It doesn't define.
One day of greatness doesn't make you a great bowler. You got to do it every damn day. You got to show up every damn day. The people at the top of the board were the ones bowling 230, 240, 250 every game. Every game.
Consistent.
I bowled a 299 once. They're bowling 250s every game.
And you're 170 after that.
Yeah, right. So that's where I've developed this mindset of it's got to be every damn day. And so what are the things you need to do every damn day? And so that's where I kind of came up with this framework of I need to develop a certain set of habits that I have this non-negotiable mindset around. Right. And I just do them every damn day.
Every damn day.
Yeah.
So in the book, what part of the book, what chapter in the book was the hardest one to write? The one that you really had to get deep within yourself and be honest.
Yeah, it was the hero's journey. So I call my journey the hero's journey.
Yeah, I love that.
And which, by the way, I use a lot of my story in the book, but it's not really like you're just watching this as entertainment to hear my story. I want people to see themselves in my story. Right. And so I wanted to really get deep into my story so that people can use that as a reflection point for themselves. And so that was the hardest part to write because I had to get vulnerable to really unpack my story. I had to go deep into the self-sabotage. I had to go deep into the moment, the pissed off moment with Eric. Like I never shared that story. I had to call Eric and reconcile with him. I hadn't talked to him in 15 years, and I knew I was going to write this book, and I knew he played.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna see if you reached out to him and that you was like this springboard.
You know what the funny part is? I called Eric, and we reconnected on LinkedIn. I talked and said, "Hey, man, first of all, congratulations on your." I never. Sorry, we disconnected. We haven't talked in all these years. Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you and your success. And so we ended up like, we talk. And so I called him and I talked to him, and I was like, Eric, I never told you this, but I was at a low point, and I saw your promotion. And to be honest, that was the moment that changed my life, is seeing you. And I was like, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for being the thing that I needed to push me into a greater level of my life. And here's what, the funny thing is, he's like, Jarvis, I've never told you this, but I've been watching you. I've been watching your Instagram, and I've watched your comeback. And he's like, I've been at a low point too. And seeing what you've been doing, you have been my inspiration. Can you believe that?
Isn't that amazing?
Can you believe
Wow, that's a synchronicities of the world, man.
circle, man?
That's how it works, bro.
Full circle.
That's 100% how it works, man.
So that was for me the hardest part.
You know, we all think that we're so isolated in this human experience, and we're the only one that goes through these trials and tribulations. That we're the only ones that hold into this grief and regret and shame, but we're not.
Right.
If you live life and you live it fully, you're gonna go through all of those.
Yeah,
and you're not alone. And when you got people like you that are sitting there and sharing the and being vulnerable, it makes a difference. And we don't always know the difference we're making with who.
Yeah.
And in that moment, who needed to hear that or see that or whatever it may be.
Man. Like I know, I'm sure you go through this too. Is this imposter syndrome? Like, who am I to say this or to put this content out or to share this? It's like, who am I to do? Like, and like you said, you never know who there are people watching. Like, and you never know the impact that you have. And I remember my son was just born, and I was walking along Seaport Village pushing my son, and this guy comes running up to me at full speed. This big dude, he's running at me. I see him coming at me in the distance, and I got my son and my newborn son in a stroller. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude coming? Like, what's up, bro? And so he runs up to me, he grabs my arm. It's like, hey, are you the morning hero? And I was like, back up, dude. Yeah, what's up? He was like, man, I just want to thank you. He's like, 2 years ago, I was in a really dark place.
Yeah.
And nothing was going my way, and I was on a couch and I was contemplating taking my life.
Yeah.
And he's like, for some reason, I pull my phone out and I go to Instagram and I just start scrolling. And it's like, I don't even follow you, but for some reason, one of your videos popped up in my feed and I watched it. He's like, I don't know what you even said, but I felt inspired that day. And then every day, your content kept showing up in my feed, and every day I felt a little bit more hope. And he's like, and now I'm doing great, man. I went back to school, got my GED, and I got a great job now, and I'm married. And at that moment, a woman starts running up full speed, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then she comes up, and she's huffing and puffing. She's like, hey, is it him? Is it him? Is this the morning hero? And it was his wife. And he was like, yeah, this is him. And she hugged me, and she was like, I just want to thank you for the impact you had on my husband. And I never knew who they were before. I haven't seen them to this day.
Yeah.
But that moment showed me that you don't know who's watching and the impact you're having.
That's
so
right.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
We live one time.
Yeah.
Live your truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth, and you feel called to do it unapologetically.
Yeah.
And because if you hold back, what are you holding back for, and who are you holding back from?
Yep.
It's like, man.
Yeah, somebody out there needs to hear what you have to say.
And you know why you can do that is because you're listening into the morning, the whispers of the universe that's giving you the inspiration and telling you and reinforcing that.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's the same with me, man. Like I get the stuff I hear is like, I know for a fact this is every ounce of my being is doing what I'm doing right now. Like that's my calling. That's what it is. That's what God's plan is for me. And I'm going to fulfill that no matter what, to the moment I have my last breath.
That's it.
And when you have that conviction, it just becomes contagious for everybody.
Yeah, I wish that for everyone. I wish that one word you just said, conviction. I think a lot of people stutter step in life. They're like, I don't know if I should do that. Should I start that business or not? Or should I go here? Or should I change my job or not? Should I pursue my passion or not? And you ever seen people play double dutch, ropes?
Yeah.
And they like it's
like that. And then they get nowhere.
They go nowhere.
They never get in the game.
They never get in the game.
They're not doing nothing.
All their whole life they're doing this.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of energy to do that. But if you just took the step in, you just do it.
Just do it.
All right.
What they miss out on is conviction. The conviction comes in the morning. Because when you hear the voice of God in the quiet stillness of the morning, you get conviction and you boom.
And you go.
You go.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
There's been some dime pieces in there. Let's go rapid fire close. You ready?
Let's go.
Best advice you ever received?
You have everything you need.
Worst morning habit most people have?
Phone.
Yeah, that's fact. Book that changed your life besides your own?
There's a ton of them. Miracle Morning, I'd say, is probably number one.
What time do you wake up?
4 a.m.
What would you tell 34-year-old Jarvis sitting on the couch?
Everything happens for a reason, and it is happening for your benefit.
That's right. It happens for you, not to you.
Yep.
Productivity hack that nobody talks about.
The zero calendar. Some people call it time blocking. I call it zero calendar. But planning your day from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, all the way through.
Leads me to my next question. What's on your zero calendar today?
This.
Let's go,
some speaking events, and then I'm recording my audiobook for the rest of the day.
Let's go. I love it, man. Every damn day in one sentence.
Your success, happiness, and fulfillment in life is not a product of the things you do every now and then. It's a product of the things you do every damn day.
Let's go. A product of the thing. Final question. You ready?
Yeah.
Jarvis, if someone's listening is where you were on the couch, out of options, feeling like they wasted their potential, what do you want them to know about what is possible?
First of all, you have not wasted your potential. Everything that you've been gifted will be used. You will be used in a way to amplify your mission. Every part of your life's journey, your life experience will be used for you to amplify whatever your greater mission is. So you have not wasted your time. You have not wasted potential. Everything happens at divine timing. You are right where you should be. If I had to talk to myself on the couch, I would think, oh, fuck, my life is over. I'm wasted. No. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. It happens. It's not your timing. Just because it doesn't align with your timeline, it aligns with the right timeline. And so everything you're going through, you're right where you should be. Now, do something about it.
I love it, bro. So people, they want to find you. They want to understand who you are more. They want to follow you. Yeah. Can you share a little bit about where to do that?
Yeah. First thing I would say, if anyone's been inspired by anything, Every Damn Day is on Amazon right now. In addition to the book, there'll be an app. The app is called The Morning Hero. And so in here, I give the framework for the morning of how to set your intentions for a 5-star day. It's these 5 intentions you set every morning. The app is kind of like your weapon of mass production. You go in the app and you set your intentions for a 5-star day, and every day it kind of turns into a video game. You're trying to check off all the things and try to have a 5-star day, and you do it every damn day. And so the Morning Hero app is going to be I think, revolutionary to help people live their 5-star life. So the book, Amazon, the Morning Hero app is going to be your best tool. And then content-wise, I'm on Instagram, Jarvis_Leverson. And I have 2 accounts. I have a the.morninghero account, and then I have a personal account, which is Jarvis_Leverson. I put content on every day on both of those accounts to help inspire people to live their best lives.
Aspire to live their best lives, bro. I think you inspired people today, man. Thank you so much, brother. I'm grateful for you being here with me, sharing your energy, time. You brought the fire, bro. So
let's go.
Always grateful, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity. Let's get this message out to the world.
Let's get it out. So thank you for joining us at the Gynergy Effect podcast. We never take for granted you being here, listening to us, and taking your time. We want to provide as much value to you as possible. So if you ever have any feedback, please let us know. Also, like, share, subscribe, do all those great things so that we create the ripple effect through the Gynergy Effect. Everybody have a blessed day. Thank you again.
If this episode spoke to your soul,
share it with someone you love and tag us at the Gynergy Effect. We'd love to connect.
And remember, your energy is your power. Use it with intention.